Hello and welcome to this Firequick Productions instructional video for the Launcher 3 system and flares. My name is Josh Benson and I'm a member of the team here at Firequick Products down here in sunny California. Firequick is proud to be a USA-based manufacturing company making its flares by hand here on site at our facility in the high desert. The Firequick Flare Systems product line is comprised of several flares, flare launcher systems, and accessories. We strive to provide our customers with the very best products that are safe, reliable, and effective. All of our flares are delayed remote ignition devices and are used extensively by wildland firefighting and land management agencies. On ignition, our flares will reach the temperature of about 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and depending on the flare type, will spray burning material up to 25 feet. Firequick flares are rugged, high-performance flares that improve user safety when used specifically for backfiring, control, and prescribed burn operations. The Firequick instructors are not trained professional firefighters. This instructional video's purpose is to train the audience on the safe and correct use of our products. It is not intended to advise when or how to use them operationally. Operators are to follow the standard operating procedures and tactics of their specific organization. Today's video is an overview of our Launcher 3 and the flares, the Hotshot and the Stubby. Today I will be covering the characteristics, the recommended field applications, the PPE and safe use, and finally you will see a live field firing demonstration of both flares. Firequick Launcher 3s are multi-round 22 caliber modified starter pistols. They have been designated a non-firearm by the ATF and can therefore be shipped and used without any special licenses. These launchers are extremely rugged compared to other launch devices. You can expect long-lasting, high-performance use from these practical tools. The Launcher 3 has an effective range of approximately 300 to 350 feet. It has a swing-out 6-cartridge cylinder with an all-in-one ejector. It can be used with either number 5 or number 6 cartridges. These are industrial power loads. The delayed remote ignition characteristics of our flares allows the firer to create a safe distance away outside of their immediate fuel environment. The Launcher 3 can be used effectively in situations that require rivers to be fired over, across ravines, or up embankments. Now let's talk about the first of the two flares that the Launcher 3 fires, the Hotshot. The use of a barrel adapter allows the Launcher 3 to fire a Hotshot. The Hotshot is a mechanically launched remote ignition flare with an effective range of approximately 300 feet depending on the firer's aiming elevation and wind direction. It has a 1 to 3 second fuse delay to ignition after the firing. On ignition, it will spray 4,000 degree Fahrenheit material, typically in a spiral pattern, and will leave little or no residual material after burning. It is effective in flash to medium fuels. This is a very popular and highly effective choice for prescribed firing operations. Next, we're going to move on to the second of our two Launcher 3 launchable flares, the Stubby. The Stubby shares a lot of the same characteristics as the Hotshot. It is also a mechanically launched remote ignition flare with an effective range of approximately 300 feet, depending on the firer's aiming elevation and wind direction. On ignition, it will spray 4,000 degree Fahrenheit material 5 to 6 feet for around 5 seconds. Little or no residue material will be left after burning. This flare is a great choice for remote ignition in light to medium and even damp fuels. It is very popular and highly effective component for backfiring operations. The recommended PPE while firing the Launcher 3 includes gloves, hearing, and eye protection. Although it's not a firearm, you always have to exercise the same safety precautions with a Firequick Launcher 3 that you would use with a handgun. Always treat the launcher as though it were loaded. Do not place your finger in the trigger area until you are prepared to fire. Always check and clear the cylinder for cartridges when first handling the launcher. Never transport or store the launcher in a loaded condition. A full demonstration of how to clear, load, and safely fire the launcher with both flare types will follow. All right. For loading the Launcher 3, you start off, it's a push button swing out cylinder. Okay. When you're loading it, you load the blanks in. and then you push till it clicks and you can feel the cylinder lock into place. Before any firing operations, when you have the launcher in your hand, you want to keep your finger out of the trigger area until you're ready to fire. Okay, you're going to have your flare, and before anything else, you're going to make sure that you're inserting your flare cap in first into the launcher. Okay, you're going to push it back until you feel that it has hit the back end. So you want it all the way in. Now you're ready for a firing operation. Okay, so you're going to scan the area. You're going to look left, look right, cock the hammer back, get it into single action. Go ahead now, you're ready to fire. Yell firing. Firing! Both the hotshot and the stubby flare are designed only to be mechanically launched with the launcher. Never try to remove the cap and light it by hand. You only have about 1 to 2 seconds before it possibly could go off in your hand. That is not part of the design. Always use the launcher with the cap on for these flares. In order to use the hotshot flare with the Launcher 3, you do have to install the adapter. The adapter fits into the Launcher 3 and screws in. You want to make sure that it's screwed in all the way and feel it go ahead and get snug. You don't want that to undo while you're in the middle of operations and fall out. Go ahead and screw it in and wrench it down so it feels snug and tight. Okay, once you've installed the adapter, you're ready to shoot a hot shot. Keep your finger out of the trigger group until you have already loaded the flare. You're gonna snug it in, cap in first, push it all the way to the back, and feel it lock in on the back side. Once your flare is securely seated in the barrel, you're ready for your firing operations. Okay, I'm gonna scan left, scan right, make sure that nobody's in my zone. Firing! Firing!